Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Antigonus Gaming, back with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Chapter 2, A New Journey Begins. To recap the last video, we had a confrontation with Tifa, conversation that didn't go so well. Then we met up with Red 13 joined us. Then Aerith and Cloud went on a date. That was interrupted by a Shinra attack on the city we're in, and the innkeeper in Calm, where we're at, helped us escape, and he told us to visit his friend's farm, and he led us to an air raid shelter tunnel that got us out of the city.
No surprises there.
So, we've got this map here, and Broden, the dude who's helping us, put a pin on the map, so we're gonna head there. And we're just going across the plains. This region is known as the Grasslands. It's large. You know, the regions in this game are huge, like, compared to Remake. We've got streams, it's called the Grasslands for a reason, grassy, but it's like a rocky plain. So a cache location. You may find useful supplies hidden among abandoned facilities and settlements. Open all the chests in a location to mark it on your map is complete. So we found some ruins. It looks like some kind of an aqueduct or something that's no longer running. We've got boxes here that have a logo, like a red flag on them. That's from the Junon Republic, which is, the Junon Republic was the government that ran much of the world, in this part of the world before Shinra, established their hegemony over the world. So, oh, I guess I found the second cache location. It's a different one than the other one I was at. So I get all 3 chests here. And it says Grassy Viaduct completes. Alright, well, I'm trying to think, how do I get down from here? I might just have to go back the other way I came. So when we see the city, we can see the Shinra planes are still flying overhead. And here's the other chest for this cache location. So every region has a handful of these, and they're just places where you find treasure. So right now we've got Tifa and Barrett with us in the team. But we'll play with the other characters as well. I'll switch out in Red 13 in a little bit. So when I get these, when you hear that, I'm picking up items on the ground. The transmuter chip, which lets me make stuff, that I got in the last video.
Should we be worried about those things?
We're fine.
How can you be so sure?
Because I've read the field guide. Like any good soldier.
Local wildlife will only attack while on the hunt or in defense of their territory. Fiends, on the other hand, attack without reason.
If they're attacking, what does it matter?
It matters if your nose can discern their intent before they attack, as I gather yours can't.
So I will do a transmute, just like to show you all how it works. So, like potion, I need Sage and Planet's Blessing. So I create a potion. And we have to, but now I can't make these other 2 things because, I don't have the proper materials yet. And you find chips while you do quests, and that will, help you unlock more things. So So we're at Oliver's farm now. Oliver's a minor character. He's a friend of Broden, so we'll talk to him here.
Folks? It's okay, I'm on your side. Heard you be heading my way. You're safe here, but not for long. By the sound of it, Shinra's leaving no stone unturned. Might want to hole up at the old dock out by the swamp. I'd wager Shinra's forgotten it's even there.
So Oliver's just a minor character. He's just a farmer. He's a dark-skinned guy. He's got an orange jacket over a red flannel shirt, and like blue jeans, a farmer's hat, and some classic brown boots. So we're gonna go to the folio, like machine that lets us customize folios. It's like a vending machine kind of thing. So I'll give Barrett iron defense. It says team up with a partner to take a strong defensive stance. Just because that unlocks more pathways for him. Whereas his other stuff, while it goes in another direction, I will eventually have to give him that one. But it doesn't unlock as many abilities. Tifa, let's see, what can she get? Synchro Cyclone with Cloud or Leaping Strike. Well, I'll give her the Synchro Cyclone because it does give her unlimited MP, and that's useful in like boss fights. Let's see, what does Aerith got? Divine Punishment with Tifa, which increases level limit increase for both of them, so we definitely want that. And then Red 13, we get Wild Charge or Overfang. We want Overfang because Red 13 and Barrett are gonna have a couple chapters where they're together, so having them together, having them be able to do their level 2 limit breaks will be nice. All right, buying sale items. It's the same as in remake. You go to the vending machine, and some stuff's on sale. A cushion will be something that will come into play in a little bit. When we get the tutorial for that, I'll explain what that means. But for now, I'll take out. So for now, we're gonna go to combat settings. And we're gonna put Red in the team so we can show what he does. So I'll replace Tifa since they're both close combat characters. I'll try to cycle the different characters in, based on who I use. Oh, and then I should upgrade weapons, so. So Barrett can get unflinching overcharge, which makes it harder to be impeded while using overcharge. I'm actually gonna use that one because because his overcharge is good, and then Red 13 gets Invigorating Vengeance, restores HP when activating Vengeance mode, or Enhanced Counterspin, which increases his counter. So I'm going to do the where it restores HP. So Red 13 is a defensive character. When you guard with him, give Aerith some wind damage up, and then Tifa will give her we'll give her some increased duration for her unbridled strength. So Red 13, he can go into Vengeance mode, which is like a power-up mode when he blocks correctly and takes damage. So I'm not particularly great at blocking personally, so I don't use Red that much. But some people really like him. Okay, so now we've got monsters here. They're called Alpha Dunks. Use assess on enemies to reveal their weakness as effective strategies against it, then exploit it with pressure.
Don't hold back.
So the Alpha Dunks are like big blue, like small elephant kind of creatures that have horns on them. Except their tusks go up in like a horn pattern, as opposed to going down. So I'll scan this creature. It's weak to ice and fire. Barrett specializes in ranged attacks, so he's the same, pretty much the same as in Remake. Holding square down releases a sustained burst of automatic fire. Pressing triangle will increase overcharge. Pressing triangle when his thing isn't full. So he starts off with maximum fury, so that's actually really nice. That's like one of his best attacks. Red 13, fighting as Red 13. Red 13 can definitely take on enemies with his razor-sharp claws and fangs. Press square to swipe at foes, hold it down to unleash his whirling slash. Successfully guarding against attacks like the Vengeance, fills the Vengeance gauge, which can be consumed with triangle to enter Vengeance mode, increasing Red 13's power and toggle speed. Vengeance mode can be activated at any time, but it will last longer. More full the gauge. And Red 13 will get abilities that will like let him fill up the Vengeance gauge. So like guarding against attacks increase.
Come at me.
So using his abilities can help you fill the Vengeance gauge if you're not good at like blocking organically. Invoking summons. When in the throes of battle, the entity slumbering within its equipped summon may begin to stir, prompting the summon gauge to appear. So summons can be used at any in regular battles. And actually, are our summons equipped? So we start with Chocobo and Moogle, Ifrit, and Shiva. Let me see here. Aha! Oh, and because I've completed the other games, I can get Leviathan, Ramu, and a couple of Moogle things that I got from pre-ordering the game since I got this game on release. And we got a bunch of our characters, and the characters that are backing us up will also level up. So, all right, and we see there's going across a stream here. We got like a wooden bridge, and we see a truck. It's the truck that we took to get to Calm in the video at the very end of Yuki's story.
Well.
And here's Bill.
If it ain't my favorite group of hitchhikers.
Oh, fancy meeting you here. Thanks again for the ride to Calm.
Don't mention it. It's the least I could do for two such lovely young ladies. But I do believe I neglected to introduce myself. The name's Bill, and you can count on me for a lift anytime. Except today, that is. Afraid the old bute's pulled up lame. Sorry about that.
No biggie. We're enjoying the fresh air. Thanks, though.
You, know someplace we can hunker down?
Hunkered down, you say? Oh? I'd almost forgotten what it was like to be young and in love.
Bill's an older
Y'all
guy.
just head straight that away toward the swamplands. You'll find an abandoned building by the dock. I guarantee no one will bother you there.
So Bill's a character from Original 7. He runs the Chocobo Ranch here in the Grasslands. He's an older guy, got long white hair, beard. He's got like black sunglass-like goggles. He's got a jacket with a Chocobo on the back over a white shirt, black pants. He's got a red bandana on his long hair. His name's Chocobo Bill, because he runs the Chocobo Ranch. He didn't really play that big of a role in the story in the original. You just had to, you go to his ranch and he gives you some stuff that you can use to get a Chocobo, and that's really it. But his ranch, I believe, is one of the only actual Chocobo ranches in the game. All the rest of the Chocobo stuff is done through like a breeding minigame that was not brought over to this game. So we got more of the alpha dunks.
Deal with that.
Damn time! Damn it!
So I have to remaster some of my old abilities from before, like Focus Shot. So sometimes the easiest way to do that is to just spam them.
to it.
So we're heading down towards the swamp, so we can see that, you know, they're starting, the types of flowers are starting to change a little bit. Starting to get more trees. We're running by a, so Cloud is bound. We're facing a Grasslands wolf and a couple of other enemies.
Don't stop now! Sorry! Come on, ain't got nothing on me!
So we're heading towards the swamp. Down the road. If you played the original 7, you know the swamp is where the Midgar Zormer lives, which is the giant snake that was kind of like an early game super boss that you wanted to avoid fighting in the original. You could beat it if you overleveled your characters, but it wasn't really worth it unless you really wanted to say you did it. So we head down to the... There's like a shack by the swamp. There's a treasure chest here. And one of the cool things about this game is that the songs change over the course of where you're at in the different region. So we're looking out over the swamp. There used to be some kind of a dock where they used to have boats.
No sign of Shinra.
But,
Yeah. Looks like an old Republic landing.
pretty rotted out.
Could borrow a boat, make our way across. Then, head on through the mines and keep going till we hit Junon.
Sure. Why not? You'd trust these rotting hulks?
I mean, we could.
Let's not.
Then maybe we swim it.
This swamp is home to the deadly Midgard Zormer. Beware. But even if you're slow, you can rent a Chocobo. We'll see you safely past being nothing if not fast.
So just give Bill the word, and he'll pick you out. A bird!
Well, can we rent some birds?
Can we?
Tifa is coming up to Cloud, begging him, and he caves to their demands, as he always does. Check, did I get a new weapon for Cloud? I did. That sleek saber that I thought I was gonna buy, I found one in the chest. So let's see, does Cloud have his weapon? He starts off in Remake with Focus Thrust Master. Nope, I have to master it this time with the Buster Sword. However, so now I'm gonna head to Bill's ranch. To try to get a Chocobo from him. And as you can see now, we've gotten away from the swamp. We're facing orcs. These are like basic enemies.
It's on now. No time to waste.
So we're gonna keep going on up the road here. And these are just dirt paths. I mean, not... So, okay, so here we go. So we passed this thing, it looks like a bus stop. And it has a Chocobo sign on the ground. Looks like it won't let us, while many Chocobo stops are built in the days of the Republic have fallen into disrepair, their benches are mostly intact. If you use a cushion, you can sit down for rest, which will fully replenish HP and MP. I'm not gonna use a cushion to rest, because I don't need to. Oh, I can't reactivate it yet because I haven't gotten far enough into the story. So, those are checkpoints that you can fast travel to across the world. Because, you know, these areas are huge, so if you had no fast travel locations, this would be like that would be a huge oversight. I mean, it would feel like a PS2 era game where you didn't have the ability to fast travel anywhere, and you had to actually go places on foot, which is something I recall doing when I was in middle school, playing PlayStation 2. So we got enemies, but, you know, we can engage them or avoid them. You can avoid them for now. You don't need to fight everything. You'll wear yourself out. And we get to Bill's ranch. It's just like, it's got a wooden fence around it. And it's, you know, a gate that says Chocobo Ranch. There's a barn. There's a couple, like a farmhouse. Looks like Bill fixed his truck, so he's made it back, and he's in front of the sign.
Pleasure to see y'all again. And welcome to my humble ranch.
Managed to get your truck fixed?
Indeed I did. You must have been my lucky charms. She started up right after you left. Anywho, what can I do you for? You in the market for some fine-feathered friends by any chance?
Are we ever? Need 'em to get through the swamplands.
Then you have come to the right place. Back in the day, we had Republic ferries to get us from A to B, but now they're nothing but driftwood, sadly. We got the next best thing, though. Chocobos. To them, a bottomless bog's no worse than a kiddie pool. Now, ladies, you're probably wondering, what gives these birds the power to glide across swamps with ease?
Not really.
Would you believe that their fluffy feathers give them the buoyancy to float, while their limber legs can outrun a motorboat? Not even the dreaded Midgar Sormer, one of the fastest fiends around, can keep up with them.
Wow.
But you don't need convincing. You just need pointing to a hard-working chocobo. Nature's two-legged limousine.
So, can we rent some?
Sure can. My grandson Billy's in the stable over yonder. He'll help you out.
So there's like a, you know, fenced in areas. There's, you know, like a rest area with a bench and the folio and the regular vending machines. We've got, you know, some trucks, farmhouses. You know, it's just his ranch is like a classic old timey little small farm. And we're gonna head into the barn. And
Howdy! Saw the sign. Need some chocobos to cross the swamp.
Sorry, Pops, but you're out of luck.
Pops?
Billy's
Got
like
no
a
more
teenager.
birds. Last one went this morning.
Younger teenager.
Could have fooled me, kid.
These are spoken for. That or they're not fit for riding. But I can see you're in a bind, so I'll bump you up the list. For a price, of course.
Which is?
10 grand each.
The thing is, we don't have that kind of money. Or any, really.
Well, there is one other option. Only cost you $1,000. Is what a scoundrel might say. But I wouldn't dream of distressing y'all further. Just so happens one of our birds ran off the other day. Wild thing, but still a fine chocobo. If you can manage to find and catch him, then he's yours. Free of charge.
You sure?
Yeah, why not? Name's Piko. The hardest-headed bird you'll ever meet. By far. And he's the spitting image of Pops here.
He's looking at
You
Cloud.
can start by looking for his tracks. Find those, and you're sure to find the feet that made him. Now, wild chocobos can be a bit skittish around people. But if you play it cool and creep up real quiet-like, you'll wrangle them no problem.
I think we can do that. Thanks.
And one last thing. This info comes free of charge, provided you promise to stop by our shop. Speak to Chloe back there. She'll sell you whatever you need.
Kid's a born businessman.
If If y'all can catch our runaway and get his butt back here, riding and rearing lessons are on me.
So we'll talk to his sister. Billy's got like farm clothes kind of look, but Chloe's got more of a nice looking dress.
All he thinks about is money. He's just doing his job. We understand, I suppose, but he's been a real pain about it ever since our parents left. Say, are you guys from Midgar? Yeah, the Undercity. Then do you happen to know Chocobo Sam? Not very well, but yeah, I guess we do. Where is he?
Probably the Sector 6 slums. He's a big deal in Walt.
Why do you ask? I was thinking about reaching out. It's his fault Mom and Dad are gone, so...
Chloe, that's none of these good folks' business.
But they get help.
Don't tell anyone what she told you. Sam's one of the biggest names in the business. If he gets wind of that story, our ranch is done for.
Don't worry, your secret's safe with us. I promise. Oh, take these greens. You can give them to Piko when you find him. They were always his favorite treat, you see. Maybe he'll come back once he's had a taste. Right. Should probably sell you stuff, huh? Billy will throw a fit if I don't at least try to get you to spend a few gil. No pressure, but if anything catches your eye. Also, if you have any golden plumes on you, I can exchange them for Chocobo gear. So be sure to hand them over if you do.
A ranch's tack shop will have Chocobo gear for sale, which can only be traded for golden plumes. These rare feathers can be obtained by wrangling new chocobos or repairing chocobo stops. And then you can also buy various items for item transmutation. And then we can trade for chocobo gear.
I hope Piko doesn't give you all too much trouble.
So we can now get... I think that means...
All right, Piko. Where'd you run off to?
Piko?
Let's try looking for some tracks.
So now we head out of the ranch, and we see some feathers, some like little yellow feathers on the ground, so we're gonna follow those. So in each region you have a chocobo to catch, and the challenge to catch them gets increasingly difficult or complicated. This one's a tutorial, so it's not that hard. So we just run down to the...
Bingo.
Piko's in a field.
Yeah! Come on, y'all. Let's go bag us a chocobo.
Piko's a yellow chocobo that's got like a...
Keep it down.
Harness thing on it.
When you're on the hunt, you don't want to startle your prey.
Prey? You know we're not here to kill him, right?
Yeah.
So approach Piko without being noticed. If you're in danger of being spotted by him or one of his packmates, quickly press circle to roll out of sight. You can distract chocobos by throwing stones you pick up. Use L1 and aim and square to throw. Once you get far enough along, the chocobos will go to sleep. So what I have to do is get to the edge of this thing here, because Piko's right in front of me. And I have to aim, throw a rock behind him, and I get behind Piko. There's like a amount of time that it'll be distracted for. Then I have to jump on Piko like I just did.
Good bird.
Obtain 2 golden plumes. And now we have Piko. Five party EXP, and then we put the Gashel greens down. The chocobo eats them. And it's happy.
Aww, isn't he just the cutest?
Cloud and the chocobo are looking at each other.
They are kind of similar.
Totally.
What does he want now?
Do you think maybe he's still hungry?
Sorry, that's all the food we had.
But you know where there's more? Bill's place.
Back to the ranch it is then.
Come on.
So we head back up the way to the ranch. Gotta go back and talk to Billy in the barn, and he's with Piko, and Piko's eating.
Ah, there's our guy. Nothing beats a little taste of home, now does it?
Not so much as a feather out of place. Got one healthy bird here.
Enough to ride?
Sure, though I wouldn't try till he's done eating. Once he's had his fill, though, I'm sure he'll come around to the idea, if we ask him nice. Ain't that right? I'll need to prep his gear and all that, so why don't you wait outside?
Alright, so...
Hey there.
What a pleasant surprise.
So we ran into Chadley.
You do remember me, don't you?
He's got a backpack on now. And,
I knew you would.
he's just wearing slightly different clothes.
It was an absolute pleasure working with you in Midgar. Thank you again. Your invaluable intel allowed me to create so much materia. Detecting internal monologue. The hell's this weirdo doing here? I was created by Professor Hojo, you know. Though your thoughts could be read by any cyborg.
Chadley's a robot.
To answer your question, I took a page out of your book and skipped town. Now, the whole world's my laboratory. Speaking of which, I have a favor to ask, if it's not too much trouble.
You need more battle intel.
That's the Cloud I know. Always eager to get on with it. But yes, though, I'd like you to activate some remnant wave towers first. They were originally constructed by the Republic of Junon, but were claimed by Shinra after the war. Since which time they've sat idle and untouched, just waiting for someone to put them to good use. The more towers you activate around the world, the more my processing power will grow. As will the area I can survey. I might even be able to construct a communications network independent of Shinra. How does that sound? You'd not only be helping me, but yourselves as well.
So the remnant wave towers are basically like telecom towers.
We'll turn them on.
Wonderful. I thought you might say something like that. Let's get started then. See that tower? That's your first target. And this will activate it. As the tower is close by, allow me to accompany you.
Chadley is very divisive in this game because his intel is such a big part of the side content. Some people just don't really like the genius whiz kid kind of character. I don't mind Chadley, but some people find him really annoying, and I understand why. So the tower lights up, and then it starts emitting waves. It starts emitting, like network waves again. Chadley uses his little like monocle thing to analyze it.
Tower activation confirmed. Initiating preliminary scan of the Grasslands. I'll ascertain the locations of fiends and natural resources.
So it's like it shows the scan of the area and then a few of the
After
quests
careful
pop up.
consideration, I have devised a new name for this type of research. I call it World Intel.
World Intel. Chadley will employ the data you collect to develop new materia, create new combat simulators, and embark on other scientific endeavors. Activate the remnant wave towers that you encounter and help Chadley deepen your understanding of this world.
I hope you'll assist me in gathering relevant data by completing various tasks on your travels. In return, I will use the information you provide to develop new materia, quid pro quo. To summarize, I want us to become research partners. But before that, is there anything you would like to ask?
So I'm not going to ask him anything. Basically, you do his tasks and you develop different stuff. If you clear out the missions, and that'll unlock more combat sim challenges, and those challenges can unlock certain skills or materia. Each region has its own new summons, so that's how we get them now. And if we do a certain type of intel, we can gain the ability to power down the boss to make it more manageable. You know, some of the summons are not that hard, some of them are ridiculous. So, yeah. So that'll be all for everything for this.
In that case, I see no reason not to begin at once. With your activation of this tower, my analysis of the Grasslands has already yielded some data. Though hardly substantial, it is enough for me to create materia. Which of these would you like?
So the fire and ice materia will let me, it gives you both fire and blizzard. And then, yeah, there's other ones like autocast, morph materia, allows you to turn enemies into items, and then an auto unique ability, which I guess I'll take that one.
I wish you all the best in the long journey that lies ahead of you. And remember, you're not in this alone. Should you require assistance, just ask.
Assessing and defeating new fiends will provide Chadley with data he needs to update the combat sim. Complete these challenges to earn a variety of rewards such as powerful summoning materia. New summoning entity, Titan. Biological intel, know thine enemy. Grasslands region intel 1. I gotta go check on Billy and Piko.
Hey, perfect timing. Piko's all prepped. But first, here. You just give that whistle a toot and your Chocobo will come a-running.
Using R1 with the Chocobo whistle will allow you to summon the bird to your side while out exploring the world. Note, you can only call a Chocobo in a region once you have wrangled that region's bird.
Who here's never been on Chocoback?
I haven't.
Why don't we take a few laps to get you comfortable then? Come with me.
Follow Billy to go outside the ranch.
Here's where we get our birds in shape for the races.
What races?
The gold saucers, I mean. They're a big deal in our community. Won't find a ranch around here that doesn't compete.
So you guys race too?
We've been sitting it out since Mom and Dad left. But we're gonna get back in the fight soon and kick the tar out of one particularly nasty weasel. But never you mind all that. You just focus on the basics, like making sure you don't get thrown from the saddle. Why don't you try hopping on Piko and giving me a holler?
Press R1 to call Chocobo, Cloud blows the whistle, and Piko just shows up. Now I'm going to talk to Billy.
But how's about we stretch his legs a bit?
Use the training grounds on Bill's ranch to get the hang of chocobo riding. Press each gold post in order and complete the course as quickly as you can. R2, L3 dash, press again to sprint. And then circle is jump. Participate in Hustle Day Chocobo. And then there's 3 rewards based on how fast you can do it. Ugh. I need to, like, go. I'm gonna retry. I messed up there. You don't want to run straight into it. How did I do? I only beat the 3rd place record, so I'm gonna try one more time.
That was something else. You and Piko are a perfect match. Might even have what it takes to win a race or 2 at the Gold Saucer.
We can't thank you enough, Billy.
Oh, that reminds me. Y'all mentioned you're flat broke, right? Then you might want to swing by Calm again. Now that the troopers have cleared out, it's probably safe for you to ask around for work. Though, don't run off just yet. My sister's looking for help. Not sure what the trouble is. Didn't want to confide in me for whatever reason. Honestly, she hasn't been herself since Mom left. They did dang near everything together.
You want to lend Chloe a hand?
We need to move on.
True, but moving on costs money. We had fun helping people in Sector 5, right? Same deal.
So people in the world over are willing to pay top gil for Cloud's hand for hire services. To track odd jobs, open the map, and see quests. Certain settlements will also have a notice board upon which citizens in need will post job offers. Accepting the job will mark your new employer on your map. Tackle this odd job here to earn rare rewards, deepen your bonds with allies, and increase your party level. You can warp to any unlocked waypoints, such as towns, repaired chocobo stops, and activated remnant wave towers.
You looking at...
So I am going to try again just to try to get the rewards, because those items are useful, and being able to well, I beat the... Okay, well, I got the level 2 reward, so...
Got nothing left to teach you anymore.
I'll hold off on that. I'm not going to keep doing this again. Alright, so let's see here. So, we got a quest for her, but, I think we'll go back to Calm for now. Because while we do that, I can show off some of Chadley's other intel quests. You know, the goal will be for this kind of playthrough is to not 100% everything, because so when we see those red birds, that means that there's something nearby the owls will signal that there's a
Look at
life spring.
You've stumbled upon a life spring. Why don't you try scanning it? See what you uncover. Accessing the planet's figurative database should help us learn about the area.
Surveying life springs gains the wisdom of the life stream, revealing new points of interest. Following a spring seeker owl will lead you to the life spring, which is its natural.
Life stream.
So there's always a bunch of materials for transmuting around these life springs. They usually have lots of flowers and stuff around them, and they're like, yeah, they're crystallized life streams. So they're like blue and green, and we have to time the triangle with the circle when they overlap, and we do that 3 times, and that's how Chadley gets the analysis. Life spring analysis complete. Receive 10 data points and 5 party EXP. A recent history. Surveying the life spring allows you to decipher the knowledge of the life spring, revealing regional intel. And then you can go into the menu and you go to Chadley Regional Intel to learn about the history and of the area. So, like, this will give us lore for the region. Here's why Chadley's annoying.
Confirmed. Data received. Life springs such as this can be discovered in every region. Their potential energy output is far too minuscule for Shinra to exploit. But to us, they're fonts of intel. I encourage you to seek out more of these life springs.
So his comments aren't that long, but it's just like he comments on like every single time you do any of his intel. So a lot of people get frustrated because I just feel like they feel like he's disrupting the game, right? So, like, while I don't mind Chadley, I do recognize that that's a valid criticism of the game. And this is still an amazing, incredible game, and some people think that, oh! Stray chocobos. These little tough chicks will lead you to chocobo stops. So, sometimes we'll see baby chocobos, and they'll lead us to chocobo stops for us to fix. Chocobo stops act as rest points, and they're also fast travel things. So there's a sign here with the chocobo on it, and we can lift it up. It says this chocobo stop is in working order, and we can get off Piko. And the other thing Cloud can do is he can pet the baby chocobos, and the chocobos like that. So we're gonna head back towards Calm, and at that point it'll be about an hour. The videos for Rebirth will probably be longer, just because the game is much larger and there's lots, especially in these exploration chapters. If I only did like a 15 or 20 minute video, the whole thing might just be me running from one area to the next, or maybe doing 1 or 2 of Chadley's data points. When a question mark appears above your chocobo, buried treasure nearby is waiting to be sniffed out by your feathered friend. Hold this triangle, held pad up to sniff in the air, and then use the R to face the scent. If we get too close to monsters, we'll automatically jump off the chocobo. So we're heading back.
This road's seen better days.
Much of the Republic's infrastructure has fallen into disrepair after years of neglect.
And you know damn well Shinra ain't about to spend a single gil on shit they don't use.
Is it true the Republic used to run buses between towns?
Yes, though that service ended when the war did.
In other words, we gotta hoof it, cause Shinra's run by tightwads.
Well, I don't mind. It's kind of fun exploring the great outdoors.
You do you.
So yeah, the Junon Republic ran, you know, they were an actual, I found a play art spot, which is like a trophy, that I'll put on display later at once we unlock the place where Cloud can keep all of his trophies, in Casa del Sol, which is an area we'll go to about halfway through the game. So now we're back at Calm. I'll do my best to keep this game as paced as well as possible. Like I said, there's so much side content that I'll need to seriously think about what stuff I want to do organically as part of my playthrough, and what stuff I would do, you know, in like a complete the Grasslands video or complete Junon video. Because I don't want it to just be me running around these areas, because that was kind of one of the problems that a lot of people who streamed this game when it originally came out a few months ago found, was that they tried to do literally everything, and it just dragged and dragged and dragged because, you know, some of Chadley's intel, like in the Grasslands, is not that hard because it's the opening region, but some of his intel areas in some of the later regions that are not like a flat plain, like, you know, there's a jungle region, a desert region, like a canyon region, like some of it is just really hard to find, and you have to use guides and stuff in some instances, because there's like a, you know, back path that winds behind something that takes you to a tower, or, you know, or something. So I'm gonna do my best to, when it comes to these exploration chapters, you know, not have too many of these hour-long videos where I'm just wandering around, and I may just wait until the end and go back and do all the data before I enter the end game. You know, I'll do some of it. I'll try to maybe do like a third of it for each region. Each region has something known as, I'm trying to remember what kind of data it is. It's like phenomenal data or something like that, and that actually has like a short story quest, and I'm definitely going to do that one for the Grasslands, because the Grasslands one is really funny. So I'll do some of those. But other than that, I want this to kind of feel like an organic experience. You know, Chadley's data is almost like a separate way to play the game. You know, I'm streaming here so people who can't access the story in the main can access the story. And there are some mini games that I really enjoy, like Queen's Blood, that I will definitely probably spend more time on than others. But a lot of the mini games, I probably will just show them off and then move on if I don't get the score I want, if I do well enough to pass through. Other than a couple that impact the story, because getting the optimal score on them will give you a better scene, and the better scenes, in my opinion, generally are the ones that are viewed as canon. So I want to show those off. Otherwise, thank you for joining us today. I know that there was a lot of running around, you know, because this was kind of like setting up. In every region, we will have to get a Chocobo, but in every region, we won't have to have like a Chadley conversation and, you know, where he's like doing a tutorial and stuff. So it gets more streamlined as you go through. Like I said, in the next video, I will do some more data. We'll do some quests, and then once we've got some good resources and our characters have leveled up a few times, we'll head down and take on the boss, and move into the next area. So thank you for joining us as always, and I hope that you will come back again for our next video here at the channel. The exploration chapters, again, will have at least one of these really meaty hour-long videos where we're going around the region exploring. But my goal is to not have like 3 to 5 hours of content per region where it's just me exploring, because I think only one of these videos per region is probably enough to get a feel for the region. The Grasslands will have 2 only because we had all this tutorial stuff to do in this one, but in the other regions, other than I think the Corel region, which is divided in half, so we'll have 2 videos for that, because there's like a mountain range in the middle, and there's like a beach side and a desert side. We'll have about probably 1 video of exploring and doing stuff for Chadley, and other quests, and then the rest of it will be dedicated to story, and the story videos will be chunked a little smaller for more manageable chunks for people to enjoy. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will be back with more FF7 Rebirth soon, as we head into the Grasslands and help out the people of Calm. So have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you back soon.